What is going on, traders? Hope you guys all had a great day today and were able to lock in some green trades. Hope you were smart with your decisions and patient and all those good things. I want to do a quick video on Moderna because there was some stuff in the price action that I think is actually really educational and really helpful. So this is actually a video that I'm excited to share with you and hope that it's helpful to any of you that are going to be able to watch it. But first off, if you're looking for regular tips and tricks on how to sharpen your skills as a day trader, just a little by little each day, please consider subscribing to the channel. That's what it's all about. And let's jump into it. So one thing that I wanted to point out with Moderna is you can see that there's this descending wedge here that has been trading in the past few sessions. Now this wedge I had charted before the market even opened today. So all the information that I had was pretty much, let's see, all the information that I had on it was pretty much this right here, this price action right here. One thing when you first start trading is that you often will only notice these wedge patterns or breakout triangles or whatever pattern that you're trading after it happens. And I want to challenge, if you're a new trader watching the video, I want to challenge you to try to spot these things before they happen so you can take advantage of them. And that's exactly what I did today. I was able to chart this wedge before the market opened to see what happened. And when the market opened, it did cause a market reaction on support of this wedge. You can see right here the price action bouncing around it. Took some trades, was up over $300 for a moment, and it was very volatile. I was hoping that it would look much more like yesterday, this support off the wedge. Just a nice little bull flag, nice little bounce off support, and a nice smooth bull run. But it didn't happen like that today, and it's not always going to happen like that. And so this was a price action today. So I ended up closing out this trade. I was only up like 20 bucks on it, but all in all, the goal was to wait for an entry point that made sense. I always say wait for an entry point that's so safe that if it doesn't go your way, you can at least break even. And that's exactly what I was able to do here. This was a reaction zone that was very volatile, and I was able to close out that trade only up about $20. And I took a step back and didn't trade it for a while. Ended up keeping an eye on it, and it was starting to sell off here. And so I flipped my strategy for it, and my goal was to see if this was going to turn previous support, which was this descending wedge, into new resistance. And once we started selling off, that was my first thought. And so now I'm thinking, where is the buy opportunity? You can see we took an entry point right here. Now, why did I take an entry right here? Why did I take an entry right here? Why did I take an entry right here? I'm going to explain that right now. Hopefully this is helpful for all of you. So once this starts selling off, I'm looking for any type of area of support that is going to cause a reaction to allow buyers to turn previous support into resistance, and this retracement zone right here, which is just that, into some type of magnetic target. That's the way I like to think of it, as a magnetic target. But we need support in order to have that flop happen. And so I was looking at different time frames and finding anything that made sense. On the 30-day, 30-minute chart, we were coming up on the 200-day moving average on a 30-minute chart, which we haven't tested in a very long time. Or not a very long time, just a number of days. And so once we got there, you can see this caused a market reaction. Now, I always buy underneath moving averages. Always, always, always. There's always going to be a wash in shares between buyers and sellers that is going to allow you to get an entry point underneath of a moving average. And it's always going to be a much safer entry point. And so let's look at exactly why I didn't take an entry until that point. This mark right here that I've put on the chart is where the price action first met that 200-day moving average on a 30-minute chart. You can see I did not take a buy there. I waited for a wash between buyers and sellers to happen and was able to get an entry point well underneath of that moving average, which was much safer. Because it was much safer, I didn't feel like I needed a stop loss, and I didn't set one. You can see we had a nice, or a little continued sell-off, a nice little dip here for the bears, but I did not have a stop loss there, and I did not cut losses. And you can see right after that, it had a nice run, nice quick little run to reset, and was able to lock in over $200 on that trade and close the whole trade out. So after that, my mindset was, since this is bearish for the day, let's keep bouncing off this zone and seeing if we can play some magnetic resets, and set a price alert below 318. A little bit later, you can see that the price alert went off, pulled this stock back up, saw that bulls were trying to push this up towards this previous support level, and it had a nice little reset, a nice little breather here, and opened up another trade for 100 shares, sold 30% of that trade to lock in some profits and protect a longer position. Eventually, it got there, was able to lock in the rest of those profits. And all this was look at the 30-minute chart again. All this was a simple moving average to previous support level. That's all it was at the end of the day. And I was playing these dips to try to cause, or when I was playing these dips, hoping that the market would continue to consider this a magnetic retracement zone. And you can see it did that. If you look closer, the price action bounced off of it here, bounced off of it here again on this purple line. And we had a wash between buyers and sellers, which took a little while, but all in all, we met that zone. Now, when you look at that, you might think, Luke, why did you leave money on the table? Why did you sell early? If your goal was to buy into this previous support level, why didn't you sell? Why didn't you hold until it met that support level, which was honestly shortly after I closed out my whole trade. You can see we popped it really nice there and met that support level. That would have been the perfect sell point. Honestly, the reason I didn't do that was because anytime a stock is overall downtrending for the day, and I'm trading towards these magnetic price targets, I'm always going to take profits early because I don't want to push it. I don't want to try to trade something and push it all the way to that price point. I want to take profits early in case that overall sell-off were to ever continue on in the stock. You can see that overall it did continue. We continued selling off after that, and it's closing down over 10% on the day. So all in all, it's a really fun trade. I love these days when you can have a nice profits on a stock when it's overall down for the day. It just shows good strategy, good patience, good entries, and good exit points. And yeah, so I hope that was helpful for anybody out there who is new to trading. And please let me know what you think in the comment section. And hey, if you're looking for regular tips and tricks to help sharpen your skills, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.